Americans are dealing with dangerously high temperatures, with many areas in the western U.S. hitting triple digits.
Millions of people are dealing with scorching temperatures as a deadly heat wave continues to grip parts of North America.
It has been extremely hot, temperatures very challenging. A new all-time record of 49.5 degrees Celsius, that's just over 121 Fahrenheit, was set on Tuesday.
July 13th, 2021 news: a powerful solar storm is approaching the Earth at a speed of 1.6 million kilometers per hour.
The seasonally heat wave continues to grip much of Korea, with more regions now under heat wave warnings.
It has been an extraordinarily wet start to July in Western and Central Europe. In the Netherlands, 10 centimetres of rain fell on the area around Maastricht in 2 days, more than the region would normally expect over the whole of the summer.
When we talked about this 5 years ago with the charged particles in the atmosphere, with the heat, that was the missing element. As the temperatures go up and the ground temperatures go up, that's an indication of a change in radiation of the sun. And so our entire atmospheric system on the Earth is altering at a fast rate, very fast rate. As we enter into certain areas, getting close to this binary twins, some effects on this planet are going to be pretty enormous. These storms that you see that are just the beginning, I would estimate that what people experienced is likely, I'm going to give it a 1% of what will actually be felt all throughout the globe. I would estimate that these storms that people experienced in Canada constitute, as far as if we're talking about a scale of impact or intensity, that would be 1% of what we'll actually encounter. The power that's in our atmosphere is enormous. Everything on Earth right now could be powered by the atmosphere. Right now it could be powered by the atmosphere without storms. We don't need storms for that. It can be powered by the atmosphere. What people had a demonstration of is a simple reaction of heat, static electricity, the formation of plasma in conjunction with the particulates we have in the atmosphere right now, and that constitutes some of the changes in gravitational forces that are maintained around the planet. Right? This is with electrostatic forces. Anything that deals with electromagnetic forces, people are starting to see. One thing they're going to see, which I'm sure is going to mess a lot of people up because they're not used to seeing it, are sustained plasma conduits. Plasma conduits were once sustained on this planet, meaning you think of a lightning bolt about 10 feet in radius, right? And it goes all the way up above the cloud tops, but it stays there, it doesn't move. And it kind of, the way it moves, it almost looks mechanical. But they're sustained for possibly for about 10, 20 minutes. Then they go away or change to another location. When people begin to see that same thing in the clouds, they'll begin from the clouds and they'll go up in the air. It'll look like somebody shining a flashlight from clouds straight up, outside into space somewhere. When people begin to see that, that's the beginning of sustained plasma conduits. We're going to have that phenomenon again on this Earth. The effects of the atmosphere again, and the potential in the atmosphere is enormous. It happens maybe once or twice a year, but we're going to begin to experience this all over the planet. They have built a special modeling piece of equipment at CERN. They need to know how the clouds are going to be affected by what's coming. And the only way to do that is with what they have at CERN. They need precise measurements. They need accurate forecasting. They cannot tolerate a mistake at this point. They are desperately trying to find out exactly what they will need and when they need to go, wherever they go, at a specific time. And that's one of those critical things. Listen, this has people upset. They've been upset for a couple of years now. They can't sleep, they can't eat, they can't do anything. They're worried about some conditions that are coming. If you're within 50 feet of a plasma conduit, you could be gone. You know, you could really be gone. Also, there are other cases where you can be right beside a plasma conduit and you'll feel heat, right? You will incur some radiation. Your body will be electrified to a degree, but you won't die. Your hair may be sticking up all over your body. But the extremes, or how it maintains itself, deals with the magnetic forces inside the Earth and externally outside the Earth. And with that disruption of the atmosphere and cloud cover, it's a phenomena it's already happened a few times. Think of it this way: if all a person knew was the power of a AA battery, right? They would freak out if they were near a nuclear power station, right? It's a huge power potential difference. And the forces that are working underneath the crust of this Earth are powerful. Right now we're sitting, everything seems relatively calm. It's quite deceiving, you could say. My firm belief, they're trying to sustain that everything is fine, right? They're doing everything they can to the atmosphere, to the ground, my wave news, propaganda, this, that, and the other, to maintain an appearance that nothing is out of control, everything is fine. We're having consistent changes. It's a consistent and persistent buildup of weather changes that we are experiencing, not only on Earth, but this is echoed throughout all the planets as we enter into certain areas. Getting close to this binary twins, some of the effects on this planet are going to be pretty enormous. But underneath the Earth, it's churning. Magnetically, the poles, they've been shifting. They're shifting big time now. Physically, Mars is a good indicator. When Mars, and they watch Mars very closely, we have more probes on Mars than a person can believe. We have probes out there so that we have an early warning system of electromagnetic changes that will affect the Earth, because they're going to be affected first before they get to us. They're kind of like a shield to us, and Mars is an indicator of what could potentially happen to the Earth. No way to communicate the magnitude of this and what it will cause. I'm just telling you right now, as a person, I don't have weak faith. I just don't have weak faith. Even to the point of death, I don't have weak faith. I don't cry for myself, right? This made me say, how in the world, Father, what can anybody say? What can we say? As we continue to go through this, you're looking at a lot of ice is melting right now. Well, that ice is uncovering quite a few things. The Earth is being uncovered. And as it's being uncovered, so are the rest of the planets being uncovered. And there are things being noticed right now with these other planets, with people who have the optics. They're looking at specifically the poles of these planets in a brand new way. And they're noticing something that none of the explanations cover. And they're about to find out the Earth is no different than them. It is the exact same thing, which changes how everybody's going to see this world, right? It's going to change everything. We're not going to see the world as the books taught us anymore. Things are going to be uncovered. People will start to see to a lot of people, it's going to be fearful because, for example, this is just an example. If the moon is not what people thought it was, how many people on the Earth are going to be fearful? If the moon is uncovered, their mind is going to go to some extraterrestrial zone. If the Earth is uncovered, they're not going to believe a word any of these scientists have ever said. They're not going to believe the government, which is why all government entities are coming forward and saying, hey, this is what we have. They have to do that, because if they don't, they're going to lose face with the populace, and nobody will believe them again.